Okay. So, when we last left off, you all had just recently got together and were hanging out in a very well-known bar known as the Watering Hole. The situation was just a standard, everyday situation, but after a few drinks and talking amongst yourselves, a situation arose. One of the other members of the bar, a regular known as Auden, after getting frustrated with his situation in life, asked to be alone for a moment, and then shortly after turned cyber psycho. Now, Auden is not a person of he does not participate in much cybernetic augmentation. He's very much a purist when it comes to interaction. He does have the basics for interacting with cyberware and wirelessly connecting to things. He's not that much of a hacker or net runner specifically, but nowadays most people have to have the basics. The biggest part about him is that had a situation a while back where his legs were taken from him, and so had to get surgery to get them replaced, and ever since then has been half of the man that he used to be, no pun intended. Since then, he has been struggling to figure out who he is, where he is, and what to do with his life, and though the cyberware was installed by a professional, and thus making it less likely for him to be overcome with this cybernetic illness, the situation would deem otherwise. After a sudden, almost shock that you all experience, you all black out for a moment. There's this sense of almost overloading information as Auden suddenly loses consciousness and the simple programming of the robotics takes control. His body is no longer his own as his cybernetics begin moving his body against his own will. First by taking Daryl and throwing him through the window, and confronting the bar owner, Candle. Most of you lay on the ground. Almost all of you are simply stunned by what's just happened, whether it's related to Auden's cyber psycho or if there was some other attack that triggered his situation. You do not know. You are all laying down on the ground, only barely lucid, as there's this weird sensation coursing through your body, almost like a feeling of melancholy, nostalgia. False memories flood through your system and cause your cybernetics to distort and change, and the programmings of them you lose control of. Those of you that have small AI, also known as agents, are trying to contact with you, keep you awake, and yet all of you slip into unconsciousness. Dr. D, you are where you are, which is possibly in your lab or making your way through the streets, when you get a notification. There is a situation nearby in a local bar, and you can hear the commotion throughout the entire street. Something is happening everywhere, and yet you are still in touch with this old school of trainees that you've worked with before. uh, a section of paramedics are heading out. And the reason why you left has you concerned for the situation, and thus has led you to investigate before they arrive. You come upon the scene to see something that doesn't make sense. You just see a bunch of people that look like they're either hung over or just sort of groaning after some sort of brawl, but there is no signs of struggle. All these people look fine. They're just simply laying on the ground, groaning and rolling back and forth. The smashed window of the bar makes you believe that there was some sort of confrontation, but you don't see any blood. You don't see any bodies. What do you do? Or when you don't see any bodies, I don't mean like dead bodies. You just see people laying on the ground in pain.
3 questions.
Yes.
One, in order of appearance. The cyber psycho, you said he lost his mind after his legs were replaced.
I'm not going to give you any information about Auden because you weren't here for whatever that was. So if you want to learn more information about that person, you'll have to ask somebody that knows.
Okay, so that leads to question 2. Are they still here?
You do not see a cyber psycho when you approach the scene. You just see a small group of people that are probably near the bar, possibly in and outside of it, and then you see a larger group of people towards the edge of the parking lot that looked like they were maybe some sort of gang, or were like rallying maybe to, you know, cause mischief or trouble, or just some sort of crowd that is gathered.
Do I know the... You said that it could be a gang. Do I know the gang members?
Please make me a skill check of some kind. If you have Streetwise, that would be a great one.
Okay.
But if you have something else, please tell me what you would like to use. Also, am I coming in cross fine for everybody?
I hear you perfectly.
Alrighty.
Deduction?
I will allow deduction. Deduction usually is like coming to some sort of conclusion, less than actually investigating.
Taking several clues and leaping to a non-obvious conclusion.
So I always feel like deduction could work for just about anything. And especially because this is going to be somewhat of a mystery campaign, I think deduction would be quite useful.
Okay. I got a 12.
Okay. With a 12, you don't see any members of this mob here that looks like they belong to a specific gang. And if any of them do, none of them look like they're all together. Like, this isn't all of these people aren't a specific member of a gang.
Okay.
You do see that they are armed and were possibly agitated, and now everybody has been somehow sedated.
Okay. Interesting. The small group of people outside the bar?
Yeah, they're just outside the bar. You see a couple famous people. There's like 2 streamers, and then another person that's famous.
And they are conscious?
Everyone is alive. You don't know what position they're in. If you would like to make some sort of skill check.
Okay. Would it be like first aid, maybe?
Yeah, I would say first aid. This is to just sort of get a gist of what's happened to them. You're not doing anything just yet, but I would still say that. Yeah.
I got a 20 for first aid.
Okay. Yes. You learn that their cyberware has been overloaded, and so all of them are suffering a psychological effect. That's sort of similar to cyber psychosis, but if someone had too much cyberware, then just their entire body would go dead and their cybernetics would take control. So these people have proper amounts of cyberware, and that did not happen. So they are alive and their cybernetics did not take control. In fact, most of their cybernetics have probably shut down or at least gone into standby, but in a safe system.
Can I tell if this was like an EMP or something of that nature?
You would guess that it would actually be something like the opposite of an EMP. Because an EMP would scramble cybernetics and force them to lose their charge of whatever power source they have and shut down. This seems like just a simpler version of that.
Instead of shutting down, it did like overdrive.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody able to speak with me outside the bar?
You would know that all these people are pretty much in a state of pain, and you would need to either help like reboot them, which is fairly easy enough for you to do, or to try and shut off their cyberware and see if you can speak to them just as people. But you would have to do something in order to get them out of this affliction.
Okay. Is it possible for me to like do a quick scan of those gathered outside and see who, if anybody, has... you said there were streamers.
Yes.
Is it possible for me to tell which, if either of them, may have like a recording?
Yes, I would say
within their eyes?
3 of them. And that would be the 3 people directly below you in the call. Freddy, Kaizo, and Lazy. Whichever Lazy.
Okay.
I don't remember Lazy's character.
The content never stops.
Is it possible...
It's Mayday.
That's right.
Mayday, okay. Is it possible for me to... like, fix them, but also, like, review their internal storage and see what happened myself?
What you can do, and I will give you several options. You could just like try to jack into people, and this would be some sort of net running into a person.
That's rude to do without asking.
Okay. Well, what you can do is, like I've stated, you can reboot their hardware.
Jack into them without permission.
You can reboot their hardware and then let them come back to their situation. Or you could completely shut off their cyberware and just let them lay there. And, for people that have like completely robotic limbs, they would be technically paralyzed, but they might still be able to speak. But at this point in time, they are too scrambled to be able to perform any actions. Oh, yes. There's also a small drone that seems to be flying up in the air. This drone does not look like it belongs to any sort of company or professional. This looks like a personal drone. That's very easy to
Okay.
tell. And it is slowly circling the bar. So you would assume
Do
that
I
it belongs to one of these.
recognize this drone as like a streaming device?
I think you could say that. And actually, would it have any sort of markings? Kaizo, does it have like your brand on the side of it or anything?
It does whenever it starts streaming, which it did before we got knocked out. It like has a thing set up to where when he starts recording, it'll like have like a little neon sort of design appear on it.
Okay.
And like it says neon space.
Okay.
And you would probably know of the name Neon Spacer.
Okay. Okay. Then, considering that the drone is flying around, I suppose that they would be my first person to help. So I believe I will be trying to reboot the cybernetics as opposed to shutting it down.
Okay.
I'm guessing that is a cyber tech role?
Yes.
Okay. Cyber tech.
This should be pretty easy for you.
I'm sorry, I'm still learning the app. I'm not sure.
If you have physical dice, it would be just a D10 plus your skill level.
Okay. I may do that then. So it would be D10 plus the skill plus the stat, right?
Right, whatever stat number it is, and then the level of the skill.
Okay. Let me grab a dice real quick.
Okay.
Give me like 30 seconds.
You can also ask Google to roll a D10 for you.
So I would, but sometimes my Alexa gets wonky.
Okay.
And he will reply with, "Here's what I found on the web," instead of, "Here's the number you get." You know what I mean? Alright.
You ask it to
Dice.
roll a D10 and it gives you a 35.
Uh-huh. Pretty much, yeah. Okay, let's see. D10, D10, D10. There's a D10. Okay. I rolled a 2, and I am plus 14, so I got 16.
Oh, jeez, yeah. You easily go over to Neon Spacer and give him a hard reset, and you come into consciousness. And it takes you a while for you to boot up your systems and whatnot. Unfortunately, your streaming software with your Cyber Eye did get turned off, but you're pretty sure that you might be able to recover the information. However, your little drone is still going.
How long does it take for everything to turn back on? Because his eyes are full cyber.
Just a few moments. You probably like sit up and then your eyes are like doing like the circle loading thing or whatever.
Oh, that actually kind of probably be really cool to see though, like your eyes doing the little loading dial.
He also has a cyber audio suite, so I'm assuming that messes with his hearing as well. He has to turn back on.
Same. I actually have both eyes and cyber audio suite as well, that are all robotic. So yes, while sorry. One of my questions from before that I spaced on, pun unintended. Since the player is not here, are we just having candle? What are we doing?
You don't know what happened. You can ask.
Right, but out of character.
I'm not going to tell you what happened.
Uh, okay. Um. So my next step would be to look for the strongest person, which I assume. Who is the strongest looking person that is out here in front of the bar?
Of this group, I mean, all the streamers look pretty much the same. They just look like average Joes.
Okay. Do I know about Candle in this bar?
Yes. This bar is infamous. You know the situation of it's basically like Up. If this bar goes, then everything gets paved over. There goes the neighborhood. You know,
Okay.
corporations just keep growing. Unfortunately, because this area is not technically owned or whatnot, there is still the miasma that's about right now.
Okay.
Which most people, and I would say that everyone here, has masks on of varying types of whatnot. But it would behoove you to head indoors at some point. This isn't like one of those normal places on the street that it's like domed over and the air is circulated properly. This is out in like the darkest sort of, yeah.
I do have a nasal filter which filters out toxins and anything gas related.
You're completely fine, but you'd be concerned
Okay.
about these people being able to breathe properly.
Okay.
Not to put a fire under you, but I'm just giving you information about the situation.
Right. And for that reason, I believe that the next step then would be to find Candle so that he can help me bring people into the bar.
Okay.
Is Candle among those outside?
You do not see Candle.
Can I poke my head in and see if I see Candle immediately, or if it would be a search, which would be too much time, and I need to act.
I mean, the front of the bar has like these big open windows. You can glance inside and see that it's completely empty. If you do want to head inside and investigate, I think that would be something you can do, but that would be leaving these people out on the street.
I don't have time for that right now.
Okay.
If I cannot see Candle through the windows, I will immediately look for the next strongest person. They're all the same?
Yeah. And if you just want to get Freddy and Mayday up, you can just do that. Just make the medtech rolls.
Yeah, okay. I'm just... Is it Cybertech for everybody, or...
Yeah, Cybertech.
Paramedic for anyone.
Because of what this is a technical failure.
Okay.
So I would say...
So it's all technical everywhere. Okay, got it. I guess...
you would probably assume that's the reason why you don't see Candle here, is because he doesn't have any cyberware. So he wasn't affected like these other people.
Got it. Makes sense. Alright. Next person to help. Let's see. I got a 10 plus 14. 24.
Yes, easy enough.
Boop, boop, done. Next person. 3 plus 14, 17.
Easy enough. Freddy and Mayday, you come to consciousness. As the three of you look about, you do not see Candle. You do not see Auden. You do not see Yoon. And also, you do not see the body of Daryl.
Is anybody else still out?
There was that sort of smallish crowd over by the street, but you know that you would not be able to get through all of them before the paramedics arrived. What are they called in Cyberpunk? I forget.
Trauma team.
Med
Trauma
tech.
team. Yeah.
Trauma team you have to pay for.
Trauma team is on its way because they investigate all sorts of situations.
Oh, they investigated too. Okay.
It's an
And
event where multiple people were injured,
yes.
so trauma team's
okay.
gonna be.
Also, you don't know how long it will be, but usually trauma team gets here first, and then everybody comes to investigate situations. So, the media comes in, and then, whatever sort of businesses feel like they have a stake in will come in and do something about it. Most importantly, you don't see any Vaki. Vaki are these purely robotic sentries that are usually wandering the city, going through tunnels and climbing buildings, just sort of skulking around, just sort of waiting for anything to happen. Usually jumping in to respond with vicious force. But usually you would at least see a few of them wandering about, and the fact that they're not here leads you to believe that maybe there isn't any corporations coming. Perhaps there's something else that's drawn their attention. Maybe the situation has moved from here, or maybe there's something bigger that's happened somewhere else. And this is merely a aside.
With my background with corporations, do I know if it's only a matter of time, or
you would know that the watering hole is a current issue with multiple corporations. It is the crux of this neighborhood where a lot of corporations are wanting to buy this area of land just to sort of keep progress moving and going and whatnot. But Candle hasn't sold. And so each of them are holding each other in check and keeping an eye on each other. So if either one of them attempts to do anything shady or, bad, they would notice each other. Like if one corporation tries to blow up the bar just to buy the land, the other ones would see it. So they kind of hold each other in check.
What would happen if nobody was here, including Candle? So, like, if we left, would corporations swoop in and immediately try to, claim it? Or is it one of those things where we're not touching this until we know what's going on?
I mean, if Candle dies or goes missing and the property is abandoned, once, the rent isn't taken care of, it will get foreclosed.
Okay.
Like, there is a natural order to things, but
right.
You would understand that this wouldn't happen in an evening. Like,
Okay,
there's
so
very
no
much
one's
a
just gonna
precipice to
come
the
in and
situation,
then-
but it wouldn't happen if you guys chose to leave.
Okay, so no one's gonna be like, squatters' rights mine now.
I mean, you do know that corporations have tried to hire gangs in order to do that, but Candle has always been here to chase them off.
Okay. Is everybody conscious outside?
Of this group, yes.
Is everybody that I can see conscious? Does anybody in my field of vision still need medical attention?
Like I said, there's the group of 20 or so people out on the street.
Okay. And were there people conscious within that crowd of people?
It's the same situation where they're all very much alive but lucid because their cyberware has reacted.
Okay, well, so to the three in front of me, I'm basically going to be, okay, tell me what happened in a minute, let me get all these people up, and then I suppose I'm going to start rezzing. I
Okay.
guess.
So,
Do I need a roll for everybody?
I'm going to say that because these are NPCs, you can simply do this, but it will
Okay.
simply be a matter of time.
Okay.
You're pretty confident that you might be able to get them all up before Trauma Team gets here, because it seems like Trauma Team is late. The fact that you were able to get here before them is a little
Right.
concerning. Well, what's everyone else doing?
I think once Kaizo's eyes turn back on and everything starts to click in his mind, he'll look around, and if he doesn't, and if since Kano's not visible, he's wondering what's going on. But since he sees his drone still up and running, he's gonna check to see if it was still going.
Okay.
He
And
can like do a playback or know how long it's been.
to be clear, you had it, did you have it like parked on the roof or something when you went inside, or where was it when you had it?
When he was hanging out in the bar, he just had it off, sitting on the table. But when everybody outside was being weird, before he went outside, he turned it on and had it go outside.
Gotcha. That's right.
Figure out what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Normally you don't need to do this sort of thing, but do you have the? I believe everyone should, but you should have like the general tech skill.
Basic tech.
Basic tech. I forget what it's
Oh,
called.
It's not a It's not one of the ones that it gives you automatically to levels.
Is it not? I thought there was something that's like let's see.
First aid is the only one considered a technique skill that they give you automatic to in.
Okay, yeah, no. You don't have any sort of tech skills. So, do you have any tech skills?
I'm gonna read actually the description of what basic tech that is actually.
It's
I kind of overlooked that.
it's just sort of general everything that's not the specific stuff of like cyberware and whatnot. So interacting with most things, like hot wiring a car would be general tech, or like using a brain dance would be general tech.
I mean, I don't think that he'd be able to repair this kind of stuff. So, I think I'll figure something
General
else to
tech
knock
is
one
not
down.
repairing stuff. It's just simply utilizing stuff.
It says identifying, understanding, and repairing simple electronic devices and all other items not covered by another text.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
So there
I
are
think I am
specific
gonna-
tech skills for specific things, but
I do have. I don't know if this also covers it. I don't think it does. Okay, yeah, no. Photography and film just says producing the stuff.
oh yes, that's right. Okay, I would absolutely allow that skill here Yes. because that's what this type of equipment is.
I fully maxed that out. I got a 19.
Yeah, I knew you had something. I just didn't remember what it was. I was like, I think it is something a little off, but 19, yes. So when you went and put this this drone up, you had it looking out above the city because that's where the crowd was looking, and you do have some footage of something gold just sort of like glinting like this sort of like almost shooting star kind of light that's seems to be falling from one of the larger buildings, sort of towards the center of the city, very far away. And as everyone was looking at that, there seemed to be some sort of glitch, some sort of effect, and the drone goes into standby, and then it starts switching from where you had it looking to looking down at you, which is just sort of this sort of standby security mode of like watching you. You probably have this when you're like asleep or something, or just generally walking about, and it's just sort of casually circling you. And so the footage cuts from looking out across to where this is to there's a section where it just sort of cuts off because it just ends the recording, and then a little bit later it picks up the recording where it's coming back to the parking lot, and like zooms in on you, and everyone is laying on the ground in the situation, and then you have footage up until now. So you do know that nobody has come or gone since Candle and Auden have disappeared. So you're not sure what that means necessarily, other than maybe Candle got Auden out of there, or maybe got Daryl out of there. You're not really sure. But you would have to investigate the scene to learn any more information. But you do know that the situation is clean, basically. In that split instant of Auden going cyber psycho and everyone falling to the ground, then your camera turned around and Auden and Candle were gone. So you maybe missed like, maybe not even a minute, but like just a very short amount of time where your camera was coming back, and then nothing has happened until Dr. D has arrived. So the fact that there is nothing further to be discovered about like people coming and going is information, even though it doesn't necessarily feel like it, I guess is what I'm trying to.
I guess the next thing he's going to do is try to figure out exactly how long it took for Dr. D to show up.
I guess that determines on how far away he was, and I wasn't going to get too far into the specifics of that.
I think he just generally wants an idea of a time, like how
long you guys have been out.
How long they've been out, how long other people could have gotten.
Just to sort of get a general, I'm gonna say maybe 10 minutes. Like, it really hasn't been that long, but again, I don't want to get too specific with it because, yeah. But if you guys want to investigate anything else, you may.
I would also like to kind of establish a time frame. Basically, like, I looked at my watch before I left after I heard the news to now, about how long has it been? If they've been out for a total of 7 minutes, maybe it's been like, or a total of 10 minutes, maybe it's been like 7 for me. Or so.
Do you want me to get really specific about, do you want me to pick a specific time of day and like, so you guys can plan stuff out, or?
My thing is more whether Dr. D would comment trauma team should be here. by now, or not.
Usually, trauma team reacts within the first 10 minutes. So the fact that you were able to walk here, I assumed you walk here. Did you have a other mode of transportation?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you were probably at a nearby shop or something, or
Makes sense.
I don't know. It just happened to
Maybe a
be that
house
you
call
were
or something.
nearby.
Yeah.
So you like got these people up and started asking them questions, and you realized that trauma team would probably be here soon. You're trying to get some information before they come in and clean this mess up.
Hush everyone.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say that it's probably been a bit since you've. All right. I mean, I want to give you guys as much time as you want to do stuff. And that's why I'm saying that it probably took Dr. D 10 minutes to get here. So.
Okay.
Oh, is Freddy look all right now? Because I just remember he shocked himself before.
Oh yeah, actually Freddy was inside the building. He was the only person that was inside.
Yes.
Okay. Would I have seen him through a window?
Yes. Actually, you probably would have heard him at the very least.
Okay, then events played exactly as they would have.
Yeah. I think the DC would have been a little bit higher for what he was dealing with, but you rolled
roll a
significantly
24.
well. Yeah. So
I
you're
think it
fine.
was 24 and 17 for the other two that weren't. What, Mayhem? That's the name, right? Mayhem?
Mayday.
Mayday.
Mayday. I was close.
Close.
Oh, Mayday, did you need the text-to-speech channel bot? I kept dismissing it. You can bring it back if you want it.
They said that they were gonna use it for a while, but that eventually they'd be able to unmute.
Oh, okay. You should just use the. Actually, I don't think it matters who.
Yeah, I'm muted for a bit. I'll unmute later.
All right, that's fine. Let me describe some of the scene for a little bit.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I said okay.
So the front door is open, and it's usually the store that like swings closed or whatnot, but you can actually see that it's jammed open. Like whoever went through it actually like sort of slammed it open, and so it's stuck. So currently the inside of the building is starting to fill with this miasma. Also through the open window that is smashed, you can see that what caused the damage to the window was something getting thrown through the window, and you can see a streak of something getting smeared across the parking lot, but a very
Color?
far distance away. I would say probably 20 feet from the window, you can see a very slight spot of viscera that is smeared up against a far wall. And I think, well, I guess it would be up to them if they want to describe what happened, but everyone did see the body of Daryl get thrown across the parking lot where it slammed into the far wall. and there was a hole in his chest. So that's why there was no blood anywhere on the parking lot except for where he landed. In fact, the glass looks completely clean as well, and that's due to his thick leathers that he wears when he rides his motorcycle.
Is it possible that I had any fans recording nearby cause they saw me at the bar?
I think I just res your fans.
I think most of the people that came out to see you guys were part of the pack that got struck with the same as you guys. Maybe at this point, people are starting to approach and investigate the situation with their, various equipment of whatever they've got. People are actually keeping their distance because they know if they get too close, they could become involved, and usually that means that you get scooped up with, whoever corporation's team is related. And that's just a whole bunch of nonsense. So people are staring far away, but there are people coming to investigate at this point.
So the viscera on the wall.
Yes.
Is it possible for me to get 2 samples?
Yeah, you could probably gather some sort of samples. You can tell that it's very fresh. You can tell that it's pure, and this is just basic information you get. You can tell that it's pure blood. You can tell that it's not, a combination of any sort of, cyberware, coolant or anything mixed with it.
Right.
You can tell that this came from a pretty standard human.
Also, I do have a micro optic, so basically a microscope in my eye.
Okay.
So there is that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you have any sort of database check or something that you can do? I know that medtechs usually have some sort of skill that's similar to that. If you do, I think you would pull up the medical information of this person.
So I do have my agent, which has a whole bunch of data, and it's entirely possible that my agent would have access to the trauma team database.
Is there a library skill or something like that?
Yeah, library search.
Yeah. I think that would be related to...
Better skill for me to use?
Well, I mean, using paramedic isn't looking up someone's medical information. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think library or something library search.
So I was looking.
Actually, do you have criminology? Criminology would be a great skill for this.
I don't believe I do. Just the raw skill attached to it.
What about local expert? I'm looking at the list right now. You can just sort of look through the skills that you have and let me know if you have something that you would like to try and use. Is anyone else doing anything at the moment? Oh, Freddy, as you get up, you can see that Auden's his side bag has been left behind, and the laptop that he was working on is smashed. But you can see there was something running on the screen, and you might be able to do something with it.
Okay, so
sorry.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to see what was the last thing, what was running.
You could see that it's this sort of music software, but it's unlike any music software that you've seen before.
Interesting.
So library search. I was checking because I thought I had read somewhere about the agent. The agent does give the user +2 to library search skill,
Okay.
so I will keep that noted.
Internal agents for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I got one too, but I mainly did it because of the Chiron display for the eye.
Internal agents are great.
They really are.
Because
Like,
they
I
do
can
a lot
hear
of
voice
the.
in my head and see a display.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Um,
Cortana. They do like passive, program running for you.
Yeah. I
Jarvis,
was
do something for
actually
me.
thinking of making like a little skin pocket and just putting my agent in there and zipping it up and just keeping it there forever.
Okay.
Because I don't need the actual device.
I mean, you
Okay.
could just describe your agent as like Google on your phone, or literally something huge like Jarvis in your entire suit or whatever. You can describe it however you want it to be.
So one of the samples I will be keeping for Trauma Team whenever they do manage to show up. And the other sample I would like to run analytics on myself.
Okay.
And you said library search would work for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is basically using someone's DNA to see if they have any documents on file.
Okay. So I rolled a 3, but I have a +12 to library search.
Oh goodness.
So
Okay. Yeah.
15.
You pull up this person's medical records. This is Daryl Hoffman, and Daryl Hoffman is a man in his late 60s. He has not gotten any cyberware. He is divorced and he does not have any kin. All of his other family is too distant to be related. And he does not have any outstanding medical conditions other than the fact that he has he did have cancer a while back and managed to defeat it, and has some blood sugar issues, but otherwise is relatively healthy and rather plain individual.
Oh, good for him.
But he does not have any cyberware.
Okay. So, deductive reasoning. Person without cyberware has been attacked. Candle is missing. Candle also has no cyberware. Perhaps.
I will say,
The-
just quickly, if you want to use your deduction skill to like figure out how this person died or whatever, that would be like a thing to do. But also, if you want to
Okay.
do any other sort of medical investigation, be like, maybe he had a secret hidden disease that no one else knew about, but maybe I can figure it out. You can do those checks by looking at this information that you have now. So even though you don't have his physical body, you can still investigate his information. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to find out that he still had cancer or something, or maybe
And that
he
is
did have
deduction.
cyberware, but it was like a pacemaker or something, technically speaking, you could do some sort of check to look at that or whatever. But I'm just trying to give you options.
Okay.
Is anyone else doing anything
Yeah.
at the moment?
Pezzo's gonna get, like, he's gonna go to where he left Freddy and Belle. He's gonna keep the drone outside watching in case
Okay.
something happens.
You do find Belle. Belle is completely unconscious on the floor. Power completely turned off.
Oh, it's not. Freddy,
Yes.
what happened there? Why did you suddenly? Guaranteed, we all collapsed, but you collapsed way before everybody else.
Virus. It was.
Sorry, I just imagine the
Yeah,
way
what
that
the-
you said
what's-
virus sounded like diabetes.
Diabetes.
Also, I don't know if it was for anybody else, but he kind of cut out as he was saying that.
Yeah,
so
I-
it felt
I-
like the glitchy vibe.
I lost internet a little bit. Sorry about that. Freddy, why'd you fall over? Diabetes.
I would like to run diagnostic deduction. See if I can figure more things out, and then talk to the people that were there.
Okay. Yeah, you can have your agent running some sort of diagnostic. I'm just. Are you trying to get information based off?
Yes.
Are you trying to get information based off of the blood or his information?
Oh, you cut out. I have no idea what you said.
You said you're doing diagnostic. Is that because you're
Yes.
researching his information, or are you running tests on his blood?
So I feel like I'm running tests on his blood while the agent is doing background.
Okay. Do you have like a skill? And maybe this would be like where paramedic would come in or something.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is actually like the physicality of like the technical standpoints, as opposed to like reading up information. So this wouldn't be library search or like deduction. But
So, do you want me to roll for my agent as well?
I mean, your agent gives you bonuses to whatever skills that you're rolling. But I would like you to tell me what sort of skill that you are using.
Okay, I was using paramedic for the blood and then library search for his records and whatnot.
Yeah, and you've already gotten his records. Was there more information you're trying to get?
No, I just wondered if there was any more.
I'm gonna say at this point you have access, so you can
Okay.
investigate it more later, I suppose.
Okay,
But
perfect.
for the most part, I gave you the basic information. So yeah, if you want to do
Got it.
first aid or paramedic or whatever.
So I did roll paramedic for the blood, and I got a 20.
Okay. You can tell that this is just this is natural, fresh blood. He did not have any sort of sicknesses that were afflicting him. This is, just he bled out.
Okay.
I'll give you that without having to deduce it.
So I can tell that this blood is from a mortal wound, like he died from the wound that this blood is from.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that
Oh.
this is normal blood that has exited somebody's body through a wound.
Okay. Can I tell by the amount if the patient is dead or alive?
From the amount and from the timing that you're guessing and the amount of like how much is clotted over, you can tell that this was probably a slow seeping wound.
Okay.
Someone did not lose the entire insides on this one spot.
Got it.
Possibly without treatment, the person would die, but they're not here, so you can't help them.
Okay.
But you also don't see any signs of them limping away or getting carried off. There's no blood trail of like where they went. So this
Okay.
person just disappeared.
Is there any trace within the blood from what caused the wound?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Oh, actually. Ooh. let me get back to you on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that you don't see any like shrapnel bits. You can tell that this was not a gunshot, and it was not like glass cutting through somebody.
Okay.
This was something else.
Okay.
And by
Something's
gun, I will
off about it.
also cut out ballistics and energy weapons.
Okay. So I can tell that something is off about it, and that I need.
You don't see any bits of shrapnel or leftover radiation or energy fragments or anything.
Okay.
It just looks like normal blood.
Okay. On a cellular level as well.
Yes, literally, someone could have like cut off a limb or just slit their wrist
Got
and
it.
just put the same
Cool.
amount of blood. So
Then, having learned what I can here, I return to those that I awoke. Now that they are awake,
okay.
fully rebooted. Rebooted.
Mhm.
How big is Bell?
I believe Belle is 4 feet tall. I believe they said 3 or 4 feet tall. But you could see that they have just completely keeled over.
Can I help with that? I don't know if somebody else is doing that.
They are a full robot. There is no
Right.
yes. There's no genetics
Freddy.
here, so.
Freddy, have you seen Yoon anywhere? He's a mechanic, right?
Oh, true.
No, I haven't.
I
do
will say
think the
this.
Corpo would-
You do not see Yoon's car.
Oh.
What do I think a Corpo might do with a full robot if they found it just like unconscious somewhere?
Take it. At the very
Yeah, okay,
least,
I'm picking up
impound
Bell.
it. At the worst, dismantle it and assimilate it.
I'm picking up Bell. I ain't got time. We gotta get Bell. I'm gonna get Bell out of here.
Question-
I don't.
Question about the world.
Yes.
So if we say, "Oh, this robot is mine," can people refute that, or would they just have to take us at our word since the robot is not currently functional?
First and foremost, someone would be able to look at you and look at what your assets are and what you own. And if you have not purchased something or legislation, if something was built on the street and you don't have it registered, it could be considered dangerous and just immediately destroyed. That's the dangerous part
Right.
about like doing stuff on the street and why people avoid corpos and whatnot.
Okay, so like if I said this was my robotic assistant, people would be like, "Dismantle it," or something like that.
Basically, yeah. Also, this thing looks like it was definitely not made on the street, but also at the same time, it does not have any markings of whatever corporation made it.
Okay.
This might have been some sort of like scientists, prototype, and then they, like Pinocchio, let it go free, and so there might be some corpos hunting this down. You don't know.
I'm gonna take my jacket off and actually wrap Bell up in it, and then pick it up.
Okay. What is your jacket made of?
It is actually I bought a jacket that was armor. It's laser light street jacket. It has the same properties. It's armor of the same type as light armor jacket is what the stat said, but it looks like Urban Flash outfit. I don't remember which. book that
Okay.
was from.
I think that's great because here's the thing. If you're going to touch it with just your bare hand, there was going to be an issue. But because you've insulated yourself, when you wrap your jacket around Belle, you notice that there's like these streaks of lightning, almost like static electricity. Like if you've ever seen one of those Tesla coils where they just sort of shoot little things of lightning, that comes out and like starts to glitch out your jacket, and
What the?
once you like pull your jacket away, your jacket goes back to normal. But when you wrap your jacket around Belle, I think all of your lights just sort of like blink out. But I will say that because that is, that kind of jacket, I think that's a firm enough insulator that you won't get damaged from trying to touch Belle in this situation.
All
Interesting.
right, Doc.
I mean, you guys
You gotta
don't know
get-
what Belle's power source is,
True.
but you do know that something has happened to make all of your guys' cyberware become unstable. So,
All right, Doc. I gotta get Belle out of here. I'm gonna send you my info. If you find anything, can you let me know?
Do you have a place to go?
How big is this? Like how? Because now I'm trying to think of how far. He does have a place to live. It's just I don't have a clue how far that would be.
and I think that's sort of up to you to decide. But basically the issue right now is like getting out of the hot zone before anyone arrives, which I think is what he's trying to do. I'll say that if you're able to basically get out of a location before the Popo show up, you guys are pretty much safe enough to get to wherever you need to go.
I can get there within. I can get to my place within like half an hour to an hour.
Yeah, you guys could
But-
like catch a train or something, or get an Uber or whatever. You guys
You
can
got a
get
better idea,
around
Doc?
easy enough.
Ready, Doc, or even you, Mayday. Is Mayday still outside?
I mean, has Mayday come inside?
I have no idea.
What has Mayday been up to since you got rebooted?
Mayday's doing Mayday's doing.
Also, you unmuted on Discord, but you may not have your mic hooked up on Discord because you're not speaking at the moment. Oh,
Am I good now?
there we go.
Hello? Oh,
Why do you go to hanging out?
Has left.
Mayday, Mayday.
Did he accidentally click on me?
Hello?
Oh, he's back.
I dragged him back in.
Something may be going on with the Discord.
They might also not be able to still talk yet.
Alright, am I all good now?
Hey, there we go.
So the thing is, for the most part, Mayday was just waiting until his cyberware was back online. Just for the sole fact that he continued streaming, and instead of going inside, he was just going around, trying to see any idea of what happened, because he was only dead for a year.
You're a little muffled and hard to hear, but I do understand that you're still outside because your cyberware is loading up, and then you wanted to see something.
I think they said explore around to see if they noticed anything.
Okay.
Oh, he's about to do TTS.
Okay. That works.
Yeah, I'll just be mute.
Okay. What you can see from the scene is that the glass is broken from where Daryl's body through the window. You can see the impact of his body across the parking lot, but his body is not there. His bike is still there. Bell's Candle's car is still there, but Yoon's car is not there. And Yoon's got this sort of like 3-wheeled catamaran. They've got like some basic tools and like a toolbox in the back. It's basically a scooter with one of those cabs attached to the back of it.
Hmm.
Have you guys seen the new Indiana Jones?
Is there anybody
No.
nearby who doesn't
No.
seem dazed from the confusion in the crowd?
There are some people that are coming to investigate the scene, but they don't want to get too close for fear of getting drawn in. And at this point, you can see that there is some activity with the air traffic, and you get the idea that Panoptic is on its way.
That who?
Panoptic is a security company that basically has eyes and ears everywhere. So there's basically nothing that goes on in the city that Panoptic doesn't know. It's just that they usually don't act on it unless they're paid to.
Would Trauma Team be arriving with them?
You would assume that Trauma Team would be here either around the same time or before them. And again, it's the fact that Trauma Team isn't here that's concerning. So you feel like there's some other situation that's drawn most of their, units away, or maybe Trauma Team is being forced away from this situation.
Hmm.
But you can see this sort of like sleek, silent black helicopter with like 2 double blades, and they're like at an angle off to the side. One of those sleek helicopters coming close.
Ooh.
Just completely black. You can't even see any details on it other than the shape of the body and the blades.
Yeah, no more time to waste.
Yeah.
Alright,
I
I
think
start
it's
heading inside
time to
after
go.
not seeing 2 out of the ordinary, expecting Candle to be there and confused on why they aren't. He's definitely getting a pay cut.
He owns the bar. There's no way he's getting his pay cut.
I starkly remember him saying he wasn't going to work for you. Look,
Oh, that's right. You
Well-
did. You did want to hire him as a bodyguard. That's right. I remember that. And he was
Look,
thinking.
those details aren't finished yet. For now.
I think he was willing to discuss it.
So, where are we going?
Freddy, Doc, or Mayday. Bell is out. We got to get them out of here. Anyone know of a really close safe spot to hide Bell?
I mean, we could go to my lab. It may have the tools necessary to revive Bell.
Have I seen Doc inside of Candle's bar ever?
I feel like I hang out occasionally.
Yeah, this isn't a
You
question
know-
I can
Okay.
answer.
When I am not performing surgery, I feel like I'm
Okay.
heavily
Kaiser
drinking.
probably trust you.
This
I-
is the
enough for
only
this.
bar that doesn't have synthesized drinks. They have real whiskey here.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the bathtub gin he makes. So
All right, Doc. Then either lead the way or tell me how to get
I
there.
like my martinis real. Thank you.
All right.
The helicopter
Keep
gets
going.
closer.
Let's get going. Let's go.
I grabbed
Can
my laptop
anybody
before you
drive?
Because I almost forgot that.
Can
Sure.
anybody drive? I'm I'm not the
I've
best
never
at
touched
driving. But I'm sure Kendall won't mind if we borrow his car.
Sure, I'll drive.
I think he
Okay.
will, but to save Bell, he might not.
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, as long as Bell's not getting abducted by the companies, I'm sure I can put a spin on this that he'll be okay with.
You guys pile into the muscle car, and Freddy, what sort of skills do you have with this isn't a normal car that you can hack. This is a full I think it's like a Dodge Charger or something. So if you want to literally
Am I just stuffed inside the car?
if you want to steal this car, you'll have to physically hotwire it.
All right, let's see. No.
I
basic
just
tempo
imagine
for-
Freddy jumping in the car. He's like, "Don't worry, I got this. Computer on. Computer."
Come on, come on, Jeeves.
No,
Take us to
I
our
don't think so.
location.
Engine start.
Oh, here we go. I do have a land vehicle tech.
Oh, all right, yeah. Roll that.
That would help.
Okay, so crit and plus my 9, I got 27.
You crit?
Ooh.
You got a 10 on your D10?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you like get in and just reach above the freaking what's it called? The little flip
Steering
down
wheel,
thing,
sun
the
visor.
sun visor, yeah. And the keys are there and you just stick them in.
What the heck? Is an earthquake starting now?
It's normal.
Rumble of the
This is normal?
This is normal. It's just
Oh,
how
by
the
the
engine
way,
is built.
I realized I didn't describe the type of outfit Kaizo is wearing. Because he took his jacket off, he's fully shirtless now. Because he doesn't have... He never used his money to buy his shirt. He's all about trying to look cool and having the like jacket with no shirt he thinks looks cool.
So
Alright, so what is this lab with doors? I need directions.
seeing Kaizo shirtless, Doc goes, "Keep your clothes on. We're almost there." And then he gives
I don't have
you
a shirt.
directions.
What is this?
He gives you directions.
Oh,
Oh, you know, it's,
Freaking
speaking of
missed.
car, let's see, where can I post this? I saw this the other day. Unless I already posted it. I don't know if I did.
Yeah, he has a cool Yakuza light tattoo on his back.
Freddy, as the
Ooh.
engine of the car revs up and you start to pull out of the driveway, suddenly a spotlight shines down onto the car and a voice echoes down from above. "Please halt where you are. Do not attempt to leave the premises."
Shit.
And as you start to pull out of the driveway, suddenly a figure lands in front of you. A single figure blocks your path from escaping the parking lot. They wear a black trench coat. They've got large black gloves and boots. You can barely make out any sort of details on their entire person. They are just completely blacked out. But you know this person, even if they don't have an insignia. This is a panoptic enforcer, as where their face would be, there is in fact nothing but static, as their head is completely replaced with this sort of screen. Just a box like a TV is lifting up from where their neck should be. And then scrolling across the screen says, "Do not resist."
Alright, so question, Sparrow. How wide or narrow is this drive or road?
Follow-up question.
Yes.
Is it one of those things where if we drive by, they're gonna smash the side of the car? Because I don't want to damage this car, because then Candle's never gonna let me hear the end of it.
You're not driving.
I'm
Still.
driving.
Is it possible? Do they have facial recognition systems within them? Is that common knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible for me to stick my head out of the window and say that I am a doctor, I have a patient that requires surgery, and that trauma team has not responded?
Do you have a skill that's some sort of like communication skill?
I'm guessing that's in cool.
Yeah.
Okay, persuasion. Here we go. And then I think, I think with some of my cyberware. Oh no, that's personal grooming, not protection. Okay. Then, okay, hold on. Everybody wish me luck. I'm gonna roll this D10. I got a 5. Plus 7.
You okay?
12, good enough.
What are you laughing at?
Quick
No, I
question,
hear
where
that.
is Mayday during this?
Yeah. I think that's more fear.
Pretty much, yeah.
Did you,
I feel like
Did you
Mayday's
do it?
in the back seat.
yeah, did you join us in the car?
We kind of just pulled you along with this. Like, come on, come on, come
I
on.
mean, that's up to Mayday to decide.
So
Mayday,
I got
did you want to?
forced
Yeah.
into the car.
You didn't
Fair
get
enough.
forced. You can join them. Kaizo
It
is
was
grabbing
like-
Belle's body and attempting to escape with them. Dr. D
It
said,
was-
"You can join me in my lab," and Freddy is driving the car. So
Yeah.
everyone ran to the car to get in. Mayday, what are you doing? Are you joining them, or are you staying here to
It
watch
is
the
an
bar?
open invitation.
Can I have been in the back seat already, just confused?
All right, sure,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
that was Johnny.
So, I did get a 12 in persuasion.
You lean your head out the window, and instantly showing up on the display of the TV is a video feed of you, and then there's like some brief like techno, like scrolling like found target, looking up information, and then it shows like all your details of like who you were as a member of Trauma Team, that you have left Trauma Team, that you are no longer an active member of Trauma Team, and are currently like status freelance, yeah. And then the figure like moves your face off to a corner of the screen, and it goes back to static, and it seems like it's addressing you when it types out Trauma Team is not involved.
I'm gonna look at this thing and how good does it look like it would be in a fist fight?
I mean, considering that this person just leapt 20 feet from a helicopter and landed directly in front of you, you can come to your own decisions. But you do know that Panoptic is not to be messed with. Nobody escapes from Panoptic.
It literally just did a superhero landing, and you go, "Can I beat it in a fist fight?"
Well, I
No.
didn't know how.
It
I didn't
it did
know
not do a
if it was
superhero
Cyber's.
landing. It landed on 2 feet and did not move a muscle.
Oh.
damn.
Somehow
Alright.
that's worse.
So,
Anyone got
next
money
my
to give
question.
this thing?
You would know that a Panoptic officer is on the level of Terminator.
Okay.
So it's a close fight is what I'm hearing.
It's a
do
losing
I
battle if you try to fight it.
do I know the streamers with me? Like, do I know a bit of their skills, like general information?
Yeah, everyone would probably know of them and their relative abilities.
Okay. I I turn to Freddy and I go, hack it?
Freddy, you would know that if you attempted to hack this officer, you would become comatose before you even said jack in.
Oh.
Sir,
Do we know anything about?
That's just common information.
Sir, that's the
Oh.
most idea that you have ever told me.
Panoptic is
China,
not
that's
top
acne?
of Panoptic is not top of the line software. They are their own software.
Oh.
I am screwed if I try to hack that thing. So we only have one option of, or one limited option. Drive away.
Doc holds up a finger and he goes, real quick, and he kind of pokes his head out the window again, and he goes, my oath requires that all patients get medical treatment. Will you let us pass?
I'm gonna say that previous check still flies, and they respond, will not comply. Your concerns are not of value at moment in time.
Oh.
And this is
And
just
then
text scrolling across their face screen.
I'm assuming it's.
As he reads that, his shoulders kind of slump, and he goes, "Oh." And then he looks at
You actually see something else come up on their screen where it says Hippocratic Oath, non-compliant, lethal force advised, and they begin walking towards your car.
Oh.
All right,
yeah.
Buckle up. Buckle up, guys. We're leaving. I like to put this thing in the reverse, please.
Okay. Go ahead and make me that same sort of car driving check.
Left. Back to land vehicle.
Vehicles, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
I rolled a 14.
Okay. Yeah, you just immediately go
We
into
wanna die
reverse.
here.
yeah. I hope not.
As you immediately go into
Quick
reverse,
campaign.
the figure just continues walking. They do not make any sort of movement to attempt to chase after you. They're just continuing to walk. But you do hear the voice from above, and the helicopter says, "Halt, do not attempt to escape." And you just back out. You just keep backing into the parking lot more and more until you just like back into the fence, just completely knocking it down. And then you pull into an alley. And now we're in a full car chase. So
Let's go. I'm gonna do a whole Fast and Furious thing. I'm gonna try to.
Doc turns to Freddy and he goes, okay, so no hacking them. What about the vehicles?
Repeat
Can
yourself.
Can you turn off their searchlights?
It's gonna take time.
It might help. So,
They're
Do
going.
you know how to drive a manual vehicle?
no.
And then
I mean, do any of you guys have guns or anything?
I have a handgun.
Okay.
I
Scream, help, I'm not with him. Out the window while we are getting driven away.
Now that
Oh, God.
Mayday's
Howard-
just live streaming their own kidnapping from the back seat.
My Moby Huge is in my other pants at home.
more.
Yeah, Mayday canonically has a Moby Huge, which is their main, apparently.
Kinky.
Their main line.
As a weapon,
I mean, business and pleasure, my guy.
So
Anyway.
Where is the closest highway and/or road?
I mean, you can literally pull out and drive up, but I assume that you were trying to get away from the air traffic. So going up onto one of those skyways is probably not where you want to go, but that's up to you.
Tunnels.
Oh, yeah. Is
Tunnels
there
and
like
back
any,
roads.
any tunnels near close by?
Do you have a skill called Streetwise?
I think I do. Where's... Yeah, Streetwise. Here we go.
After this experience, Mayday hates SoundCloud rappers.
Alright, Mountain Road.
I'm with you, Jay. Just do it on the side.
Also, I'm probably never gonna make you guys roll initiative. You guys just tell me what you want to do, and we'll see what works.
No, okay.
So, +5
Most
with
of these
4.
like dangerous situations are going to be situational. I don't think, well, depending upon the situation, we might roll some sort of initiative for combat if it comes down to it, but usually I'm going to make it sort of like you guys react to it. So
Alright,
yeah,
Sparrow.
I keep scanning my skills every now and then to see if there's something I can do. But
I mean,
most
yeah,
of my
that's
stuff is
that's
for
basically how the
physical.
system works, is that you've got stuff in your back pocket and you tell me what you want to do when it's useful.
Alright, so I rolled a 13.
Okay. You know the best way to go is not the main fast roads, which are like the sky roads that are basically like these big bridges that go above like even some buildings. But you want to like stick to ground level. There isn't unfortunately any sort of ground entrances that you know of, at least nothing connecting to roads. You do know that there is a subway, but how you would get there, you're not quite certain of, and you would have to abandon the vehicle to do so.
Alright, who's in the passenger seat?
I think Dr. D.
Oh,
I think that was me.
Alright, check the glove box. Check if there's a gun inside there.
I check.
Make a search check.
That's conceal or reveal.
Sure.
Instead of a gun, they find a baseball bat.
I don't think that would fit inside the glove box.
it would inside of candles.
It's
Well, I
Candle,
got-
he would make it work.
I got an 11.
You look in the glove box and you don't see anything of value. You also look around to see if there are any hidden compartments, but you cannot seem to find any.
I pull out a paper map and I go, no, nothing of use.
You roll it up as a fly swatter and get prepared.
What is that thing?
It seemed to be some sort of colorful collage on what is that thin material?
My internal agent whispers in my head.
Aizo is going to put his mask on, and then, like, then he's gonna set Bell in, like, the floor area, and then, like, do the partial lean out the window so that he can try and... He doesn't know what they make the lights for their, helicopter out of, but he's gonna shoot it, see if it does anything.
Okay, roll to hit.
No.
Do you need help figuring out how to do that?
Okay. Handgun, there it is. I have plus 12 to it.
Okay. Yeah, the app makes it easy.
I was looking at the. I don't know why I wasn't looking at the app. I was looking at the actual sheet for some reason.
So, real quick while you figure that out. Who's driving again? It's
Freddy, the hacker.
Freddy, yeah. Okay. Freddy. Question.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have optical cybernetics?
Yes.
Optical? Yes, I do.
Do you have UV, ultraviolet, infrared eyes?
All I got are Cyber eyes. That's all I got.
Huh?
Speaking of character, all I got are Cyber eyes. That's all I have. I have no other
Okay.
cybernetic.
Is it possible for me to let you see through my eyes?
Why are you doing this to the driver?
Hey,
Because if
Yeah.
the driver can use infrared vision, then they can turn off the headlights. And we'll move even quieter and darker.
I don't think there would be any way to do it unless you did like people can technically in a way see through one of my eyes if I'm streaming. They can watch my stream, but that's like the only way I can think of.
I mean,
Because I have night vision, so I didn't know.
it's like late evening, so I
Am
think
looking
there's still
for a
like,
weapon or something in the back seat.
yeah, roll a conceal reveal check, Mayday.
By the way,
So-
I rolled a 15 on my shooting.
Okay. Yeah, just a moment. It's like it's early evening, so there's like neon lights on and everything. Well, like, because they're not neon, but it's, you know what I mean. It's like full cyberpunk mode right now, where it's just like brilliant, sort of dark red sky. It's starting to get dark. There is this beam of light shooting down. So you don't have to have your front lights on to be able to see, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But as you guys are trying to discuss how to move quietly and sneakily through the city, Kaiso leans out the window and begins firing shots up at the helicopter.
Okay.
Okay, quick, we need a
It
place to
already
hide.
sees us. It already sees us, and it said lethal.
True. If lethal force is authorized for them, then therefore it must also be authorized for us.
I got a 12.
You look around and you do find that there is a section of the floor that moves, and you find a shotgun under there. With your 15 to fire, go ahead and roll damage. Kaizo.
Is heavy pistol, so 30. Wow, 2 1s and a 6. 8.
Okay. I'm gonna say as you shoot up at the helicopter, it's got this light that's just perfectly spotlight down on top of you, and you shoot up at it, and the voice comes over again that says, "Vehicle attempting to flee. Do not attempt to use any lethal force." And then
You
you
said lethal to us first!
no, I think it said Hippocratic Oath, non-compliant.
Is
Not-
that
not-
Hippocratic
not
Oath
cross-
non-compliant?
Yeah,
Lethal
not
force
yeah.
authorized?
Hippocratic Oath, non-compliant. Physical force allowed.
Oh, it said
Who's
lethal.
driving the car?
I don't think
Yeah,
I
me.
said lethal
Ready.
force. I thought I said physical force. Yeah. Anyways, I meant to say like physical interaction allowed. So it was basically coming to arrest you, and now that you're fleeing, you assume they have weaponry. They are not attempting to attack you yet, but you do manage to shoot something up there that causes the light to flicker out. You don't know if you completely destroyed it or managed to short something. But it's at this point that the helicopter actually like zooms down to like directly behind you and is just like following you. on the street.
Does this thing go any faster, Freddy?
You want faster? Sure, why not? I step on the gas.
Okay, go ahead and make me another driving check.
Yeah.
Doc currently having an aneurysm.
Fleeing vehicle. We understand your concern for your safety. Please do not be alarmed.
Alright, I rolled a 19.
Yeah, you immediately like step on the brakes and like I think you like you straight up
Gas?
brake check this helicopter and it zooms over you like bumping up and then it flies up and like kind of clips itself up against one of these buildings, and as it turns around you're just gone because you've zipped down into an alley and you've managed to lose it for at least the moment.
Alright.
Now that we have lost it, is it possible to find a parking spot with other cars that we could power down? And
Unless you know another Dodge Challenger around here.
oh, that's true.
Yeah, I don't think Kenna will forgive us for that if we just leave it somewhere.
Yeah, as you guys are like pulling through the alley, you look over and see like a billboard that like gets glitchy, and then suddenly there's an image of your car that says "at large."
Since we got lost by them, I start aiming my gun frantically at everybody and scream, "Where the hell are you all taking me?"
Hey, lower the gun. Lower the gun.
Down. I will take that from you.
Listen, you're wanted just like everyone else. So you cannot kill us, because they'll be after you next.
They already saw your face, dude. They're coming for you.
So yeah, one or two choices. Put the gun down, or get arrested.
I aim the gun down slowly. Who the hell are you all and why are cops after you?
They're not cops, dude. They're...
First,
You
allow me
should
to
know what
introduce
to do.
myself. So allow me to introduce
Private
myself.
security, actually.
Uh,
The kind of private security where you may be better off risking gangers.
Were your
than
bars so
talking to
fire
them.
they became lethal?
Were
No.
your bars so fire they became lethal?
It took me a little bit to actually understand what they meant. I was like, oh wait.
I thought
Yep.
my brain was thinking about Candle's part, and I was like, what? It's not on fire.
Right, so allow me to introduce myself first. My name is Freddy. I'm not gonna say what I am actually. Let's just say that thing just went downhill pretty fast, and now you're here. On the the cops are after us for I don't know why. I think they think we done something, but we didn't do it.
And unfortunately,
I was just
there's
doing-
not much reasoning with them.
I was
Look, I'm just trying to
doing-
get. You saw the little robot dude thing. They're nice. I'm trying to get them away from potential corpo reclaimers or whatever. I don't know why you followed us.
I was hiding in here cause of the big explosion.
Alright, let me get this straight. So you ran or jumped into someone's car without them knowing?
I mean, we kind of did the same thing just now, Freddy.
No, listen.
So
We had a reason.
As we're
It's my
having this
soon-to-be
conversation-
bodyguard's car.
As we're having this conversation, I'm still kind of giving Freddy directions to my clinic.
Yeah, you guys
there
are
a
like
spot to hide
sneaking
the-
around right now.
Is there a place to hide the car at your clinic, or do we need to park it somewhere else?
The garage?
It'll
Okay,
be
you have a
helpful.
garage. Okay.
It'll be so helpful if this car had some kind of nano color changing technology, but no! It's a classic car!
No, you have to go up to somebody's building and pull up along the backside, and then they can change the color of your car. You think that's a joke, but that's a real thing that you can do. If you want to drive this car to somebody that can immediately change the color of your vehicle, you can do that.
I realize slowly that my stream's still on. I silently turn it off before anyone in the car realized.
Oh god.
Wait, what was
Yeah, I
that?
don't think I would not have noticed unless someone like messaged me about it.
I mean, I think both of you, since you're both streamers, you would know that, I mean, you guys know each other as streamers, so I think you would know that he was streaming. You got like a silent notification from your agent or something. But, like, I think everybody's stream is still going at this point.
I will say, mine is only going
Any one of
through
you
from-
heard of Twitch Prime?
Look, PvP is better. Mine is only going on through the drone, which I just realized we did not take into the car with us, so there's no way that thing's catching up to us.
Oh, I thought you pulled it down and
Oh, man,
was
I-
looking at it already.
I grabbed my laptop. Oh wait, yeah, I did. I pulled it down to like check to scrub through the
Yeah.
the
So you got it.
Okay, never mind. I do have it. Yeah, I turned all of it off.
Alright, so okay, Doc, so we're almost there, correct?
I look around and yes.
Unfortunately, there's only one way to go. Actually, there's two ways to go. Front and back. So whichever way we pull out of, they're gonna be on us again.
Well,
We're really gonna have. We can't. If we ditch this car, Candle is gonna kill us.
We're not just in the car. That is not an option.
I mean, my clinic has. Oh god, they found us!
Oh God!
Oh no, here they come.
Oh no! Why was that such perfect timing?
Yeah, I think as you guys are like maneuvering around, just like
back door.
yeah,
Always the back door.
you guys are like pulling through an alley, and then just like one of these emergency vehicles flies by in front of you.
So as we pull in, like the back entrance, Doc is kind of explaining that the gangers in the area give his clinic marginal protection, as he does give them medical services from time to time whenever they need it. So it is fairly safe. And hopefully it'll be enough.
Alright, I'm just gonna look in the back at Mayday. Can you hand me that shotgun? I might need it more than you.
Wait a minute. This place is registered under your name, isn't it?
And it's as you say that you pull up to Dr. D's office, and you see that standing in front of it is a tall figure wearing a black suit. And they turn slowly to you, and you realize that they also have a static TV screen face, and then more start to appear hovering around them.
I don't trust any of you yet. I'm not letting anyone touch it.
On each of the individual screens, an image of your face shows up and writes out your name.
When you say your,
There are 5 faces. So there are 5 of you, and each one indicates
I try to
your
take a
name.
selfie of the one with mine.
Yeah.
oh, God.
It like each of them have like I think for like the streamers they have like your viewpoint up on screen as well.
I go to the stream and okay, I keep mashing the in stream button.
Who has the higher number?
Wait, actually, no, didn't I turn off mine back at the bar?
You guys did, but they have connection somehow.
Oh, they wirelessly turned your streams back on. That's
No, you're not live streaming, but they do have access to your information. This is what Panoptic does. They don't own everything, but they have reach everywhere.
Doc, turn off my right eye. That's the one that's got the micro video in it.
I mean, he puts his hand on your shoulder and he goes, I mean, where are we gonna go from here?
We gotta go somewhere. We cannot let anybody get Bell.
True. But if we get out of the car, leave the car here at my place with Bell
Aren't
in
they
the
looking
back.
at us? They're looking at us right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
they're just
they don't-
standing. They're like 50 feet away from you, but as soon as you like came around the corner, they slowly turned and are just standing there.
Alright,
They're waiting for you to approach
If we
the business.
get out of the car, they may not search the car.
Alright, so I
If they
may
are
have a
after
good.
us 5.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I may have a good and or bad idea.
Let's hear it.
So, I'm gonna need mostly. Yeah, I'm gonna need Ollie to jump into the car. I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna back up to where they cannot see you. I want you to jump out, and I'm gonna take off.
They're watching from my eye.
That is right. Damn.
I mean, Dr. D had a reasonable idea. If you all just got out of the car, left,
Bell.
Bell. If you left Bell in the car and walked up to them, they might just interrogate you. Maybe even, if you surrender, basically, they might leave the car. You don't know.
I say we run him over. Car beats TV.
I slowly look at Mayday.
Have you ever met Terminator Slender Man?
No, it's still a bad idea trying to. No, it's a bad idea hacking into one. It still is.
I mean, let's be
So-
honest, they're hacked into you, so if you want to do something, it wouldn't be that hard.
So,
I don't want to say what I am. I do have an activate/deactivate program, so I can deactivate my cybernetic eyes if I wanted to.
You're driving.
Sorry. I mean, you guys are idling at the moment.
Wait, can we
but-
just get hard reset again so we are all offline for a bit?
You'll never take me alive. Pew!
My
No,
word, don't remind
if we
me of
do a
this.
hard reset, they're gonna take our bodies anyways, and then by the time we
So-
start back up,
You know the D&D spell feign death.
They want our bodies. Disgusting.
So, as we are kind of discussing things, I explain like my quick plan. without saying that they won't search it. So I'm kind of like, well, if we get out now, they may just take us. And like I kind of try and make us like a little bit of emphasis because they are looking through our eyes. So do we know if they can hear us?
I mean,
Probably.
they're just standing there.
Because the micro video records audio and video, and that's what's in my eye.
So
You
also,
look over at him and you just see him, like, you see all the different viewpoints of you guys looking at each other.
Out of character,
If I step out car, will I be destined immediately?
Destined?
Detained.
Detained, got it.
You guys would know that Panoptic is not a company that impounds people and questions them. They usually have all the information. There's
they
probably
already know.
something else going on here that...
Okay, you know what? Okay, this is
I'm-
what I'm gonna. Alright, I'm gonna let everyone know to stay in the car. I'm gonna try to. Wait, can they communicate? I think.
As you say, can they communicate? Text scrolls across the screen and says, discussion is always an option.
Alright, so
Do you
I'm
have
gonna
any-
tell everyone to
okay.
stay in the car real quick. Right, everyone stay in the
Real
car.
quick, ready? I look at the camera
Oh.
head, or TV head. Do y'all have any intentions of hurting Bell?
Do you say that out loud?
Well, I mean, I've been saying Bell this whole time, so they definitely know that's why I'm being so paranoid right now. So yes, I say that out loud.
You look at their screen as they do a quick data search of Bell, and nothing comes up. And they simply respond subject unknown.
Alright. Now,
So they don't know who Bell is. Which is good. However, I did say that I have an injured party, and if we can't show them Bell,
okay, leave this to me. So,
I
I'm
just
gonna-
need to cut somebody.
How about I
Pretty
give
good.
a little bit more lore to this company? Because the fact of like a Panoptic investigator coming is sort of like the FBI coming to your door. They're clearly not there to rob, kill, or steal anything. They usually want information, and they want to be like, were you up to anything bad? Or let me give you some information that only a secret agent would know. So the fact that they're here is terrifying, and there is no escape. But you don't know their intentions yet, and that's probably the most terrifying. But they also
Pretty-
are knowledgeable enough that there's nowhere that you can run to that you can escape them, so they're not in any rush to make you come to them or to chase after you.
I have an idea.
So do I.
Well, Freddie, at the very least, if anybody stays in the car, it has to be you because you're the only one who can drive.
fair point. Alright, since they're listening, I might as well just say, can you state the crime or crime we've committed? Because as far as I'm aware, we've done nothing.
It begins
you're
listing
perfect.
all of your history, like everything that you've ever done. But then it like crosses all that out, and then it denotes important aspects of today, which is running from an officer, firing upon and damaging property of the company, you know,
He
stuff
asked
like
what were
that.
his crimes, we then got doxxed.
Okay.
Yeah, it like
basically-
shows footage of you stealing a candy bar when you were 6.
Huh? Okay.
It has everything listed.
All right. So
I visit.
besides, oh,
Is sodomy a crime? Sorry.
I visibly take my gun and like set it on the seat so that they know I'm not gonna be armed when I go out there, and I get
feel
out
like
the
you
car.
refuse.
Okay.
I know that, but I am the one that shot at the thing, so I'm like just trying to ease that I.
It hasn't moved this entire time since its turn to look at you guys. It's just standing there. Also, I'm referring to it as an it because this thing is so distant from human that it's hard to refer to it as anything other than possibly just a humanoid machine.
Okay, I have a question for it. I ask if it will allow me to stabilize my patient before I am detained and or questioned.
It states that impound of vehicle and detaining of subjects is not in its priorities.
I get out the car.
Okay, so what are its priorities?
I mean, it's made no attempt to stop you. It's just been trying to get a hold of you guys.
Guys, I think this is the
It's been
best way to
trying to
protect
reach you
Carl.
regarding your car assistance and warranty.
It like
can't
shows
really-
all of your guys' heart rates at the moment and shows like percentage
Can I
of
ask them if they
hostility.
want her autograph?
It's basically showing how you guys are acting in criminal fashion, and Panoptic is concerned at the moment in time.
I would like
Guys.
But
I
it
wanna
then
take a
specifies that this unit has been instructed not to act.
I would like to say to them that all actions performed today were to get the patient to surgery, and I will be available for all inquiries.
Have you stepped out of the car
One.
yet?
No,
I did.
they can clearly hear us without us getting out of the car.
Dr. D, your car door opens.
Huh?
And the Panoptic Enforcer is standing there. And their screen writes with text that says, your concern for... Your Hippocratic Oath concern is validated. And they're just holding the car door open for you.
I tell Kaiser.
Non-optional inquiry. Do you
Huh?
know location of current subject of injury? And then they show images of the parking lot with the broken glass and the blood smear. Subject
That
has
one
gone
we
missing.
We don't know where that
okay.
one is.
I asked for the subject's name.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. What was that? +7? Hold on. Where is it?
And I'm going to give you disadvantage because you guys ran. So now that you're trying to work with the police is not... Well, they're not police, but you know what I mean.
And I'm not working with them. They've presented me with a patient. All of my interest now there.
Yeah.
Technically not critical. Well, to my knowledge.
What'd you get?
Sorry. Oh! I got a 10 on my D10.
All right, and then with disadvantage.
How? Oh. Oh, it's just a 9. Okay. I got a 10 and a 9. Woo! Okay, add 7. So, 16.
When you ask them what the subject is, the figure hesitates. And for the first time, actually nothing shows up on their screen and it goes static again, which leads you to believe that they're either thinking or they're communicating with something else. And then information pops back on the screen that says, Auden Steak.
Huh?
The person that they're after is Auden Steak.
Oh, Auden. You said that so fast.
Okay.
I thought you said one word.
No. And it does like a brief list of Auden Steak has not shown up to work within the past week, has several pieces of mechanical machinery has been going haywire, possible connection, resources of company have gone missing upon his leaving of the business, and Auden Steak has not been showing up to any of his usual encounters until today. This was the latest sighting of Auden Steak up until last week.
So I state the obvious of, oh, you're looking for Auden Steak. And then I request that the officer? Would that be the... Anyway, I request that they replay photos from the scene.
Yeah, they show images of the scene of I think they actually do like a digital readout of like possible I think it shows like a 3D like scanned layout of the bar and the parking lot, and it says 97 percentile chance of situational, and it shows Auden throwing Daryl across the parking lot, and then Auden running into Candle, and then them leaving the scene.
Interesting. In their hologram, I kind of point to where the blood was on the wall, and I explain that this was Daryl's blood and not Auden's.
They don't seem to be concerned about Daryl. They don't care about Daryl at all. They're concerned about Auden. And this does make more sense, because Panoptic is in charge of like securing and containing robotic anomalies and issues. They're literally the Men in Black.
I kind of pat one on the chest and I go, announce your intentions sooner. This would have been much easier. And then I kind of collect the patient.
Text scrolls across the screen that says, next time, do not attempt to flee.
Well, if you were looking from my eyes, you would have known why.
Again, intentions earlier. I have a patient.
Text scrolls across their face and says, there are no life signs that are requiring immediate aid in your vicinity.
Look, I will fully comply if you promise to let him work to help Bell.
You see that this unit also attempts to database Bell, and you can actually see, you're close enough to see that it glitches out, and it seems like it's not allowed access to search Bell, and simply defaults to Bell is not Bell is unknown, not related to current issue at time.
I know that. But he showed up after, right? I was there when it happened. I fully comply if you will let him help Bell. I will not try to fight back or anything. I'll tell you everything I know.
Dr. D is going to... Can I investigate the physiological makeup of the... What are they called again? The TV people?
They're panoptic agents.
Panoptic.
Panoptic is the name of the security company.
Right.
The enforcer is the standard agent, which is the one standing next to you, and then the regulator is the bigger one with the multiple screens.
Okay. Do I know the makeup of these? Is there any human within it, or is it all robotics?
I think just in general, most people would know that they are humans, but they've got so much enhancement that they're like a completely different beast.
Okay, so they're basically leashed cyber psychos?
Cyber psychos are people that get too much illegal software and lose control. I think this is like the opposite end of like someone that has so much, but it's top of the line, state of the art, that's perfection, and they're still in control. Does that make sense?
Okay, so there's still a person in there.
Oh yes, absolutely.
It's not just like...
They are not mindless
Okay.
machines or drones, no.
Okay.
They definitely do have personalities and minds of their own, but
So
they are
Were
completely
they
cybernetic.
affected during the one explosion as well, or is their tech too string?
I don't know what you mean by two string.
strong.
Strong. Is their tech too strong? Like,
Strong.
yeah.
The
I hate
nuclear war,
typing.
the nuclear war that happened hundreds of years ago, has adjusted the climate and terrain of the world, and since then, technology has progressed to a point where people can overcome their physical bodies, whether or not that is a choice or, you don't know if these people, signed up for this or were like unwilling test subjects or something in between. You have no clue of knowing that sort of information, but you do know that these people are handpicked, hand-selected. There is no information on who they used to be, as that person does not exist anymore. It's literally like the FBI, basically.
So they lost their humanity.
That is a question for you to discover for yourself. I think
Also,
that's
feel
your
like it's more of a
interpretation of the
philosophical
company.
question.
I mean, even
Question.
humans can be very robotic
Inhumane.
and inhumane, even
Question.
without all the cyberware.
So they are all completely cyberware, yes?
Again, I don't think that's an answer that I can give you because you simply cannot know that information. I will neither confirm nor deny, but you do know that they have a lot of top-of-the-line cyberware. Whether or not they are completely cyborgs, like completely robots with just
Okay.
brains or whatnot, you don't know. But
what I am asking is if they were affected in the same way, would I be able, if they were affected in the same way that all of the people were at the bar with like the reversed EMP, would I be able to bring them back?
There is no way that you would be able to tell that.
Okay.
You have no idea what they've got going on in there. You don't know what it was that affected the people there. And you don't know how it affects these kinds of people.
Actually,
Is it possible to tell if any of their body is human?
You can try and touch them.
I wanna touch.
Okay.
no.
Do you want to touch the enforcer that's right here, or go up to the regulator?
There's a regulator here.
There's a
No, the
regulator
regulator's
standing in
further off.
front of your business.
Oh dear.
And then the enforcer is standing right next to you by your car.
The first picture in campaign info is right next to us. The regulator, second picture,
Yeah.
is not right next to us.
The regulator, I don't trust the enforcer.
Okay. Yeah, the enforcer is the person standing right next to you. So, you want to reach out and touch them?
Yes.
Man, I guess roll a reveal conceal. Because you're trying to tell if they're fleshy under there, I guess.
Are you fleshy?
Also, I think if you look up now, you can see that the
I got her
helicopter,
18.
the helicopter is there, but it's silent, so you didn't hear it approach. You reach out and touch, like, what part are you touching? Like, just their arm or something? You're not giving them like a leg pinch or something, right?
Their chesty. Chest.
You reach out to touch the chest of this person. I think they let you touch them.
Do I feel a heartbeat?
Ooh, you need to make a medicine check. Actually, I'm gonna say with your 18 conceal reveal, you can tell that there is some sort of soft sponginess. Like, I think you plant your hand against them and you do give them a little bit of a push, and they kind of have to take a step back, and then they stand up and they look down at you and maybe push your hand away. That's what I'll give you.
So they are at least somewhat physically human.
Yeah.
So a thought has just occurred to
Yes.
Doc. They replayed the entire situation, yes?
Yeah. They
Like
show
all
like
of it?
all the footage that was nearby, which was Mayday's drone. Or not Mayday's drone, Kaizo's drone, sorry. There was some nearby security cameras, but there was also some people walking by. But apparently there was a radius where there was a section of time where there was just no footage, and then when footage came back, Candle was gone, Yoon was gone, Auden was gone, and Daryl was gone.
Is there footage of the device incoming?
What device incoming?
The reverse EMP device. Like it looked like a star. You said.
I mean, that was something way far off in the distance. You don't know if it's related or just coincidental.
Can I ask them if they know about Candle's whereabouts?
Make a persuasion check. Or it's like discussion or something? Or is it persuasion?
The conversation is if you're trying to do it, get them to tell you subtly. Persuasion is if you're just like are just trying to get them to tell you in general. Like
I got a 31.
ooh,
Holy.
that's a big number.
This is a big number.
They turn to you and say, Candle's location is classified.
So they know.
They do know.
Look, what is the big question you're trying to ask us here? Auden came in, he was like his usual self. I don't.
This is standard inquiry. This is the text that scrolls across the screen. Standard inquiry. You are, what's the term? Not suspects, but like people that were on the scene.
People of interest.
People of interest, maybe. I think there's like a single word for like
Witness.
witness. Yes,
Potential
thank
witnesses.
you.
Yep.
You were witnesses.
I mean, everything I saw when it all went down, you've already seen. Thing is, you're able to just look at my feed.
And that's when you start to realize that they have everything that you've seen. And they know everything that you've said and heard. And yet they're still trying to question you. This leads you to believe that there's something else going on here.
A thought occurs to D. And he asks the enforcer with us. He says, were you guys behind the cyberware shutting down?
You say that, and the enforcer stands up and turns and looks at you, and you get the feeling that they're looking at you with the most intense look as possible.
So a yes without saying a yes.
It glitched.
You get the idea that that's probably what they're investigating.
Okay.
What did that girl say?
That girl?
So
Yeah, the one that was telling me what she was feeling before we all like got lights out. He's thinking that because it glitched, they didn't see what was happening in that moment. And so he's trying to figure out what might have happened. Or if he knows what happened.
Let me put it to you this way. This is Panoptic, a company that sees and knows everything. And for the first time in possibly ever, they don't know.
They didn't see.
Yeah. And so they're up in arms about this. And so they're not going to detain you. They're not going to restrain you at any point in time, but they are definitely going to question every little thing.
Huh.
I think at this point, like, text scrolls across, it says inquiry or preliminary inquiry satisfied. do you have anything that you wish to reveal at this point in time?
Doc holds up a hand and he goes, I have an idea for a little experiment, if you'll humor me. It may shed light on both of our issues. And he waits for a response from the Enforcer.
Wait, what did you say?
He says that he has a small experiment in mind.
Right. And they're just waiting.
And asks if the Enforcer will help him. Will volunteer for helping. As it may shed light.
State the details of this inquiry.
Submit one of your number to outside manipulation and the results may shed light for both of us.
I don't understand what you're saying. Submit their number? What?
Basically, he's asking to borrow an Enforcer, and he's kind of going to run a wire from Bell to the Enforcer for the little electricity thing, and see if it's a virus or what.
There's a brief display of information that states that you are not an expert in technology, and your findings and experiments are not deemable for inquiry. But if you're offering to let them investigate Bell, they will take you up on the offer.
No.
Supposedly, I think there was a hacker.
So, when they decline the experiment, Doc goes, I guess that's another thing you'll never know.
Attempt at coercion failure.
Okay. Worth a shot.
Hey, TV head, I think there was a hacker.
State prevalent information.
Sorry, Freddy, but Freddy said that he got hacked.
Describe the nature of this.
Freddy, no one can describe it better than you.
Alright. Jeez, this can be a pain. So as far as I know it, a civilian was getting hacked. I've noticed it, tried overriding it, got hacked myself. Next thing I know it, they were basically inside my system, most likely poking around. So I've tried a few things, shocked myself, wasn't fun. Next thing you know it, I blocked out. But they were clearly, they were clearly after something. Don't know what.
Doc asks Freddy if the shock he did to himself could have possibly caused the shock that knocked everybody out.
Highly doubt it.
Yeah, there was a long span of time between the two.
this is the first time that you've ever seen an emotional response to information. The enforcer sort of releases tension from their like attention standing position and kind of glance over their shoulder at the enforcer or the regulator, and the regulator sort of like turns on their haunches like, what on earth does this mean? The fact that there's some sort of living virus is concerning.
At which point Dot goes, again, experimentation may yield interesting results.
The enforcer says, allow me to present the individual to me. And they hold out their hand.
Can I quickly write up a contract that says that they nor the company at large can change, copy, or in any way...
I'll do you one better.
Yes.
The enforcer turns to the regulator, gives a little nod, and both of their screens switch off. And the enforcer turns back to you and gives you a nod. And they like gesture with their hand like, come on, let me see it.
Can I tell if all of their recording software has turned off?
How on earth? You keep asking me questions like...
No, is there a blinking red light?
No, but there wasn't one to begin with.
I don't know. Do I know that this means that they're not doing anything?
Do you want to also ask me if Cable's body is in the back trunk or something? Like, I can't give you information that you have no possible way of knowing. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm asking. Whether or not I have the
temptation
possibility.
to try and go take that TV head off is high NGL.
They're the FBI or CIA. If they had glasses that could record us, we would not be able to know if they were on or not.
You can tell that this officer is on edge and they want to do this quickly. You get the idea that this is something that as a member of Panoptic you just don't do. But they're curious one out. Their curiosity one out.
I have points in bureaucracy, which
okay.
Which is a skill for dealing with bureaucrats, cutting red tape, knowing when to talk, knowing who to talk to in a bureaucracy, how to reach them, and how to extract information from bureaucracies.
Are you trying to cut a deal right now, or are you submitting to the test that you suggested?
What I am attempting to do is to make sure that Belle is in no way harmed, directly or indirectly.
That's the wrong one. Again, they just want to touch it.
Okay.
They just want to see what happens if they touch it.
All right. I guess I shrugged to the others and I opened the back door and I only uncover a small portion of Belle's metal.
Okay.
From the jacket.
You could see that Belle's body has all of the sort of illumination of it has dimmed completely, but you can still see some of that energy sort of sparking across its body every now and again. And as the enforcer slowly moves their hand closer, you see those tendrils of electricity spark to their fingertips, and then they plant a hand on it, and nothing seems to happen for a moment.
For a moment, and then
The enforcer is kneeled down by the side of the car, has reached their hand into the open door, and has placed their hand on Belle. And that's the current situation.
okay.
Is it like completely motionless
Yes.
at this point? I look at the regulator, I guess. They seem to be able to communicate somehow without using the text.
The regulator kind of turns to you and makes an uncomfortable step forward.
I guess I just lightly pat it on the shoulder to see if it's like awake. The enforcer.
The enforcer gives no response.
Okay. Can I then use my biomonitor on the enforcer to see if it's still
I'm going to
alive?
say that even you could use it on like the regulator and would still get nothing. Like you would just get nothing from a panoptic officer. I'm sorry.
I'm
Okay.
gonna try to pull its hand off of Belle.
Also, I was going to be describing something while this music was going on, but now it doesn't make any sense.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We just got too many questions. I was going to describe how, like, their screen starts flashing all these different images and colors, and then, like, then goes dim again. And they're just not moving again.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm gonna try to move its hand off of Belle.
Yeah, their
Yeah,
body
that-
has gone
that's fine.
completely limp and they fall over.
Uh-huh.
It's at this point that the regulator starts approaching.
Yeah, I'll just step to the side and put my hands up. Like I'm not going to do anything unless I'm told to.
You watch as the car actually like levitates slightly and moves away.
Which car?
The car that everyone is near. You get the idea that the
Candle car?
helicopter has like magnetized the car and moved it slightly to allow the regulator to move up to the enforcer. Do you all step back?
Okay. But they are not taking the car?
No, they've
Okay.
they've moved it slightly away and then dropped it again.
Got it.
I will back up, but I will make sure I'm
Like the tires were
close to the
still
car.
in touch with the ground, but you watch as like it lifts up off its shocks and slides.
Okay. I kneel down next to the enforcer and I look at the regulator and I'm like, I know cyberware. I'll help as much as I can.
The regulator's face clicks back on, and one of the screens says, something like not lawful or not authorized. And they
Not
pick
authorized
up
help?
the enforcer's body in their arms, and turn and walk towards the helicopter that is now lowered down to the ground.
Honestly, Doc, they probably, if that dude is no good, they're probably gonna tear him apart to figure it out. They probably don't care if he lives, honestly.
Well,
The last thing that you see as the enforcer and the regulator get into the helicopter is one of the regulators screens, like leans out the open door and says, "We'll be in touch." And then the side of the helicopter slides close and you can't even see the door anymore, and the helicopter flies off.
I kind of just shout, "You know my number!" as they fly off.
How are you going to work on Bell if that happened to one of those guns?
Not 100% sure. Though I do have an idea.
Well, let's just go ahead and get into your shop, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess we kind of moved Belle into the shop, and I put Belle in, or we put Belle in the chair, because I don't think I could do it by myself. And I would like to try, because the general idea I got from fixing everybody else's cybernetics is that it kind of reverse EMP'd. It spiked the energy within the robotics, cybernetics. So it is entirely possible that that may have also happened here. So my going theory would be, I guess, just
Hi, sorry.
going theory.
And then Candle walks around the corner.
Where are you going
Candle's
with my
gonna
car?
hate- He's gonna hate us.
He
Oh god.
he sensed that
Hey,
his
I've been
car was
looking for
being
you.
stolen.
Yeah, we kind of stole your car,
Yeah, I heard.
but
It was for a good cause.
yeah.
Sorry about
we
that,
had-
boss.
Yeah, I would like to mention one thing. Candle has walked around the corner holding an actual Remington shotgun and is clearly racking shells.
Hey, we had to get Bell away from the corpos.
Does he just have shotguns everywhere?
No, he has two of them.
Oh, racking shotgun. Sorry, I thought you were just like cocking the shotgun over and over again, like a squirt gun, and just releasing shells onto the ground.
No, it ain't.
Like you were
he
making
just,
it
like,
lighter
calls
to
it-
use it as a
Quick
weapon.
question, does Candle work for me yet or not?
No.
No, Candle doesn't work for anyone except for
By
himself.
himself. Yeah.
Yet.
So Doc kind of just furiously gestures to Bell. And he kind of gives Candle the look of, well, what you want me to do?
You could have taken literally anyone else's car. You could have taken.
Yours was the closest. We had to move. The helicopter was right there.
If there is even a fucking scratch on her, I am going to kill you.
There's no need. I was the driver. Don't worry. I took very good care of her.
Do you want to inspect your car?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a skill
With
that's
my. You know how my fucking awareness is literally maxed?
Yes.
Yeah, I use that.
Do you have like a specific skill? Like it might just be reveal.
You mean
Skill?
perception?
Yeah, perception.
Or,
There you go.
Okay. So. Give me a sec. It's 1d10 plus modifier, right?
Yes. And plus your stat number
Yeah.
plus your skill level.
Okay. Alright, so I got 8 plus 10, so an 18.
You look across the car. It has definitely been driven a bit too harshly. But you do not see any scratches or dents or anything. The only thing that you do see is there is a bit of a dent, and the front bumper is a little bit lower than it used to be. And it also looks like there's a part of the hood and roof. It looks like they definitely ran into something and it scratched and went up over. And Freddy would describe that's what happened when they brake checked the helicopter that then ramped over their back end.
So, like, hearing this, Candle very slowly turns his head to the group.
Yeah, because like walking up to it, you don't notice anything, but you go around the backside of it, and then you see all this.
I'll happily pay for the damages.
This
Doc?
isn't about damages anymore.
Doc goes, you have full access to my garage. Now I need to take care of the patient. Would any of you care to help?
I don't know anything about robotics.
I
I'll
don't need
gladly
robotics,
help.
just more hands.
I don't
Okay.
even know who you are.
We're all regulars except for Mayday.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't know Dr. D.
Oh.
Well.
At one point,
he
did say that he was a.
I'm not a every night regular, but it's like once a week, twice a week.
No. Never mind then.
I mean, he doesn't remember everyone that comes in.
It's your bathtub gin, my guy. I can't get enough of it.
Hey, that isn't for sale. To the general public, anyway.
It's
He's a general
It-
practitioner.
it just makes the best martinis.
It's like 90% ethanol.
Yeah. Best part is I can either drink it or sterilize a scalpel. Either way, it's a win-win.
Fair.
So
To clarify, who is the patient? Is it the kid? Or...
Oh,
Yoon is missing. Daryl's missing. Auden's missing. Bell is still completely offline.
Oh. Damn. Unfortunate.
That is, and the reason we left quickly and took your cars because in Kaiser's head he realized, oh, robot, corpos are coming. They're gonna just melt and scrap down this robot if it does not turn on. So
Alright. You did
we
it to
made a
help
quick
me. You
getaway.
did it to keep Belle safe, so I'll give you a pass.
exactly.
But if ever you take my car again, regardless of your justification, I will place this Remington to your fucking temple and pull the damn trigger.
And it won't be from the outside. It'll be coming up from inside.
I'm just glad no one knows Jerome.
Doc looks at Candle and he goes, "We can flirt later. There's a patient to attend to."
Fucking flirt? What?
And
Excuse me, sir.
to be honest, I was
I'm
the
a
one
little-
that said putting the shotgun up through you.
Anyway, so my idea is to bleed off the excess energy within Bell to hopefully allow the systems to re-establish themselves. So
They've determined that
basically-
what happened is that everyone got overloaded.
yeah,
Like the opposite of an
basically-
EMP.
and he kind of looks around and he goes, "Actually, Candle, how long has it been since your car battery has been recharged?"
Recharged?
Oh,
Yeah, he
Blame
apparently
yourself.
uses water.
So
You're telling me this thing runs off electricity? Is nothing sacred.
So, basically, I asked for the car battery out of Candle's car.
No, I'm not a big fan of electricity, I guess, so... Just, like, pops the fucking... it pops the fucking... hood of the car. Just very calmly unplugs everything and then just grabs the battery and picks it up. No issues. Walks it over, just here.
Doc grabs it and, like, it's one of those things where, Candle very easily hands it to him, and then Doc fumbles and attempts to hold on to it, but it is way too heavy for him. He's kind of, can somebody, it's really heavy,
It weighs next to nothing. It's basically a paperweight.
Alright, I'll help. I'll help the doc out.
Next, you're gonna tell me that an engine is heavy. Jesus.
It is!
What the fuck? No, it isn't.
Anyway, and then,
God, youngins these days and the fucking machines can't even keep up with good old-fashioned American fucking muscle.
Isn't an engine still a machine?
Well, no, I wasn't talking about the engine being, you know, a machine. I was talking about you guys having mechanical parts and you can't lift a goddamn car battery.
I've never tried.
Understandable.
I've never had a car.
Doc just goes, I don't have mechanical arms yet.
Oh, so you're planning on it, huh?
Eventually.
Look, it makes for good content.
I'll pick up the battery.
So yes.
Candle looks down at Dr. D's cybernetic hand.
It's marginally cybernetic. It's mostly flesh. But it does have a whole bunch of medical instruments coming out of it.
It's like Wolverine, but he can pull out a scalpel, a drill, and a blowtorch.
Yeah. You know, cybernetic
Yours.
stuff.
He's what they call in the future an apothecary.
Yes,
Yeah.
I carry apotheoses. So basically, Belle is on the exam table, and I motion for the battery to be sat down next to it, and then I grab some jumper cables from the garage, and then I hook the jumper cables to the battery, and then hook the other end to Belle as carefully as possible to not touch them myself.
Okay. And you're just trying to siphon some of the excess energy into a car battery.
The battery from Belle, yes.
How about you make a general tech check for me? A basic tech check.
Okay. Hold on. What do I have in that?
Or if you have science, maybe?
Oh.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is he trying to roll for?
Putting otherworldly energy into an electronic battery.
What kind of roll would that be?
I don't know. I'm asking him what skills he has.
I mean, there's multiple different avenues, potentially.
See, that's the thing about this system is that I don't tell you what to roll. You tell me what skills you want to use. which
What
kind
about
of puts more
surgery?
agency on the player for them to do.
There's
what
no
if
meat.
yeah.
I mean, you can perform surgery on a car.
But we did decide that you are specifically a genetic surgeon. You do know some about cyberware, but you're mostly proficient. You're still sort of out of med school.
Alright, then I'll just do basic tech.
Cyberware
Does
isn't your
cyberware work
expertise.
for this?
No.
Cyber tech?
I'm gonna say no because cyberware is specifically referring to mechanics and electronics that coincide with organics and genetics.
Okay.
This would either be
That's
this would be a basic tech role, but if you don't have that,
I don't have it, but I can use just my technique, which is still +8.
all right, just roll that then.
I got a 3 + 8, so.
Okay. You hook up the jump cables to the battery, and you just kind of set the cables on Bell, and you try positioning them around, but nothing happens.
I look towards the group and I say, does anybody know if Bell has like a charging port that we could plug this into, and then it would like reverse charge?
He asked
Hell,
a group of people who go to a bar that has 0 outlets.
I've only ever seen Bell at the bar, so I don't know what they do to keep themselves up and running.
Well, Kando like rolls up his sleeves with one hand each and says, "Don't worry, I know what to do," and then walks over to Bell and just starts trying to do CPR.
Oh yeah, you're not cyber. You might be able to touch Bell.
True.
I would like you to roll body for me, please.
Okay, just like raw body.
Yeah, just the body stat. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, actually, you have like resist torture, don't you?
Oh,
I have. What do you mean?
oh.
Oh yeah. Well, technically, I have any stat that I want. I can just go ahead and add 6 to that, plus the 8 that I naturally have in body.
Okay.
resist torture and drugs is will though.
Oh yeah, I haven't eaten will. It's whatever.
Also, real quick, as you go to do this, Doc speaks up a bit and he goes, "You know, the human body is kind of like a battery itself. Little electric jolt and it'll wake you right up out of death, so,
Alright, so I rolled a 7.
What if you hold the jumper cables yourself?
Not fucking stupid. Anyway.
Then
I
not-
got 7, 8, plus 6, 21. I got a 21. In resist torture / drugs.
You place your hands on Belle's body, and instantly the energy surges around and collapses onto you, but it almost seems to make like a bubble, and as you just firmly plant your hands with no hesitation, you almost seem to force the energy back into their body, and you push down on them, and there's no resistance. It's not like a rib cage where you actually like push on it, so you're just kind of shaking the table. But Belle does start to turn back on, and the energy starts to flow through its system, and its lights come back on.
After he finishes, he said 100 beats per minute, easy. And then just very calmly puts a shotgun in the trunk of his car.
Yeah,
And then,
as he like stands back from the body, you see that all of his arm hairs are standing on end, and are like smoking slightly.
Well, yeah. Handle, what happened to you?
What do you, what are you talking about?
When, like, did you leave? Did you disappear or something? Like, what? When we all woke up because of Doc, you weren't there.
Candle, like, hears the question and actually registers it for a while. And kind of just, like, stares at his hand for a moment, like, inspecting it for blood or anything. Before saying, being completely honest here, I am not sure.
I mean, that's an important question. Is there any blood on your hands?
Should I roll for it?
You tell me.
I'm gonna roll for it.
Odds there is, evens there isn't. Because if there's blood on your hands, it's odd. So odd, I don't know.
I got an even number.
So I guess no. There isn't blood. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I would have hurt the kid past knocking him out. Maybe drop him off somewhere that, like,
So-
yeah, if it could be said that I can, you know, like, that I could knock out the Cyber Psycho and, you know, bring him somewhere, then, yeah, he, you know.
Hi, I'm probably the somewhere to bring him.
I didn't know you were a doctor, so.
Literally a doctor specializing in cybertronics.
Yeah, and I don't have people talk about their fucking jobs at my bar, so.
That's what Tinders do. They're the psychologists of the alcohol world.
Yeah.
Then again, I guess you probably. Anyway.
And none of us in the session 0 talked about our jobs except for Mayday.
Yep. Like, he knows most of you are just doing streams and shit for money. And he's like, yeah, whatever, cool, I don't really give a shit.
Okay.
So, what now?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I mean, Belle's awake and is just like, I look at the group and just sitting and just say like, so did no one even try CPR?
Bell's body took out a panopticon.
A TV head.
Yeah. Just touching it literally took out a Terminator.
Yeah.
Weak fucking Terminator.
Panoptic is a security company that sees and does like everything top secret.
Gotcha.
And they basically have these agents that are basically top of the line cyberware and everything. They're basically Terminator.
Well, guess they should get back to work if they can't beat out just a dude doing CPR.
Has anyone seen Skibidi Toilet?
Yes, I know what those pictures are from.
Okay.
Keep it up.
Seen what now?
Don't worry about it.
Skibidi Toilet, you fool.
Nope.
So,
Basically, there's like an army of people in toilets invading the world. So like this super secret agency of like people with TVs and cameras for heads are fighting them.
Okay.
Accurate.
That's
The
all you need to
production
know.
quality is really nice.
Yeah, it was like Red versus Blue, where it started off as a joke and then got really serious.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Um,
So, do we need to try and find Daryl next?
he was in terrible condition. Candle, do you know what happened after everybody kind of blacked out?
I may or may not have gone temporarily berserk and lost all sense of self for a while.
Huh?
I said I may or may not have lost all of my my sense of self for a while because I might have gone berserk. I'm not entirely certain.
Do you know of somewhere Daryl might have gone if he was like hurt?
The last time you saw Daryl, he had a massive hole in his chest, where he was very unlikely to survive the impact, let alone after the fact. You saw his entire rib cage caved in and there was a hole through his body. Or like into his body.
I think I dropped him off at a nearby hospital. I don't think someone makes a comeback from a hit like that though.
Hmm. Um.
I guess next is Yoon.
So, Sparrow,
Yes.
can I use my agent to access hospital records?
Yeah. Library search.
Has Daryl been? Okay, should I roll to see if I know if Daryl has been
Yep.
admitted? Okay. Oh, intelligence. Library. D10. I got an 18.
You don't find any information on Daryl, which informs you that if he has been brought to any official places of business, he has not been logged yet, but it's possible that he's somewhere else, like your sort of business, where, you know, maybe a lot of it
Okay.
is off the records, off the books.
Can I set up an alert for his DNA if it comes into the system or is searched by somebody else? Can I do
So
that?
you just want your agent to have this like up as an open task, like searching, like if his DNA shows up in it. Okay.
If/when.
Yeah.
Be it morgue database or hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
You said Yoon's car was missing too, right?
Yes.
I guess I'm gonna
Yoon
set my
and-
agent. I'm gonna set my agent to see if anybody like had a recent. Or, I get. Well, no. If we were at the bar, I would know generally what it looks like. So I guess I'll try to have my internal agent looking to see if anybody has a recording or picture recently that has a car that looks even somewhat similar to it.
Go ahead and make a library search.
Plus 8. $15.
You do know that there is a speeding ticket that happened later this evening, basically after the incident, for a vehicle that does match Yoon's car description. And you do know the site that it was at. It's near the docks of the what's it called? Caracras Transport, which is basically they usually have. Imagine if like FedEx took over everything. There's just like one company that does transport everywhere. That's what Caracras is. But this is near their docks of where, you know, like the big ships carry stuff in and out.
I guess I got a potential lead on you. Over near the docks.
Does anyone... Sorry.
I was gonna say someone needs to stay with Bell, but then I remembered Bell turned on. So ignoring what I was doing.
I was just gonna say, does anyone want to make a deduction check?
Is the information shared with the group?
I mean, you just said it.
I said it out loud.
Oh.
Deduction is intelligence based. So if anyone just has high intelligence but not the skill, they can still roll.
Well, I got a +10 in deduction.
Oh wow.
I got +4.
Where's deduction?
It's
It's
intelligence.
in the education skills.
Oh, education. Gotcha.
Okay. And to
First
clarify,
column.
what are we deducting?
You guys have multiple pieces of the puzzle together, so.
Alright. I also have a +10 without anything, so that's a 16 for me.
I got a 12, so.
The deduction. Sure, why not? I got a 17.
Okay. So Freddy got a 17. What did everyone else get?
I got a 16.
Okay.
12.
I didn't roll because Kaiser's dumb.
Okay. With a 12. No, yeah, I'm gonna give it to everybody because you guys have individually you've all made some pretty good information. So I think I'm just going to let you all have a snippet of the pie. The Panoptic agent told you that Auden had gone missing. He left his work for a while, but when he was at work, he worked at Caracras Transportation, and when he went shortly after he went missing, there was some issues with some of the transport vehicles going haywire and some of the materials being stolen. And this was in one of the holding depots near the docks. Also, Freddy, when you zapped yourself to get the virus out of you, you noticed the virus left you and must have jumped to someone else. And the last thing that you saw before you fell over was Yoon looking directly at you while everyone else was looking up at the sky. And as you look over your recordings again, Kaizo, you realize that everyone else fell over except for Yoon. And I think you might even like look up the warrant, and you can see Yoon with Daryl's body in the back seat of her car. And Yoon has a completely blank expression. Almost the same kind of look that someone gets when they enter cyberpsychosis, but usually people that enter cyberpsychosis aren't capable of rational thought, let alone piloting vehicles. So maybe Yoon got hacked. You don't know. But there's a lot of ties that seem to be adding up, and maybe you're thinking that something similar happened to Auden.
You said Daryl was with Yoon?
Kaizo, you have like a picture of the warrant that was put out for Yoon's vehicle, because Yoon doesn't have it registered, but there's like a snapshot of when they were speeding, and you can see that there's a body in the back seat and they have a hole in their chest.
I thought Candle took Daryl to...
I mean, I said very directly, I don't remember what happened.
He got in a fight with Auden, and who knows how that turned out.
So Auden's the one that...
Auden entered cyberpsychosis when everyone else passed out. And since Candle was the one person that didn't pass out, they got into a tuffle.
So then Candle dropped Auden off at a doctor?
Or Candle was lying.
I'm effectively just guessing.
Yeah, Candle. It ended off everybody passing out and Candle's catching Daryl, and then seeing Auden cyberpsycho. I'm assuming the reason Candle said what he said was to like give a lot of out for Square to do things, and then so that he can still make it in character. Candle went berserk, so he doesn't fully know what happened. He's just guessing at what he would have done. I'm assuming that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Candle knows his character enough that he believes that he's friends with Daryl, that even if he were to go into berserk, he would know to save his friend. Like, if he hulked out, he would still, like, save his friend, basically. That's what he was saying.
Effectively, yeah.
But you guys have done some good sleuthing, so I wanted to give you the direct pathway at this point.
So Yoon is infected.
Yoon
So
got
that's-
hacked.
Right.
Freddy, do you think you do anything to figure out more about this thing?
Wait, I have a question out of character.
Yes.
How could Yoon have gotten hacked when the only implant that Yoon has is hair?
In order to have some of the basic cybernetic implants, you do have to have a sort of cybernetic base for things to build upon. So in order to have things like, you know, a limb or whatnot, you do have to have connections to, you know, like your nervous system and brain, and,
Yeah.
you know, hardware, software connection.
Thank you for the explanation. I appreciate it.
What was the question again?
Basically, if you only have like an eye that's robotic, how does that work? It's because just for any sort of cyberware installation, you have to have a basic layout of, you know, system, like a motherboard connected to your nervous system. So even like the very basic and limited cyberware does require like a base sort of system to work off of, if that makes sense.
I guess the docks then is our next stop.
Okay. And in fact, if you guys have nothing else that you want to bring up or discuss, we can end the session here.
Fair enough.